it is 5:15, October 15th. Ashley, I call the meeting to order. Ashley, we do roll call.
Lindberg.
Here.
Shaven.
Here.
Kroger. Here. Kelly. Here. Thank you.
We have all received the agenda. I'll turn off my kids quit calling me. Yeah, there's nothing changes on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Kroger, second by Lindberg.
Roll call. Lindberg.
Aye.
Shaven.
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly. Aye. Thank you.
Any conflicts, state them now or along the way. Moving on to the consent agenda. These are all under one motion, one roll call. We have the minutes of the October 1st, 2024 meeting. Claims list 1324 in the amount of $120,163.99. Everybody saw the larger amounts. Any concerns, questions? Any of those? Expenditure and revenue reports for the month of September of 2024. HMU sewer landfill reconciliation report for August of 2024 and September of 2024. Sheriff's statistical report for September of 2024. And a renewal application for the Knights of Columbus Class C alcohol license. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Shaven, second by Kroger.
Thank you. Roll call. Lindberg.
Aye.
Shaven.
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly. Aye. Thank you.
Under other business, you need to accept and approve the 2024 annual tax increment financing, the TIF indebtedness certification. Ashley, want to just expand on that or just?
It's the TIF certification that I'm gonna send to Mark after
Submit.
you approve
Okay.
it. So.
Anybody have any questions about that? Any of those?
And this is in your pack, I just pulled
Yeah.
up on the screen. Again, great job with Ashley. I know she and Jen worked on this and then got some final validation with calling, I believe, or contacting Jane, as I recall.
Yep.
And Ashley, this also includes one of our bond final loan payments.
Yep.
Right? That
Yep.
it's certifying payment that was for a TIF eligible project. As part of that $310,000 will certify. And the number's balanced.
Yep.
And it provides a listing of the eligible projects that we support with our TIF, our economic development agreement, downtown beautification with sound system, some last remaining lots that are in ag. So some of these have agreements or things that precede even some of you on council, but and then there's $126,000 geo bond principal and interest of $126,250, and that's the last payment on that that's TIF eligible. And that might have to go back and look at the schedule as to which projects those are for, but and Ashley's done a great job of getting these required reports done, and that's all I had to add.
Okay.
On that.
Anybody have any questions? For Gene or Ashley? Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Lindberg, second by Kroger.
Roll call. Lindberg.
Aye.
Shaven.
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Review an order of local housing official and petition for title to abandoned property at 1310 Willow Street.
Provided this information to you as well in the council packet or a report I sent, identical to another property that we had your approval and authority on at, I think that was 5 or 6 Pine, 90 days ago or so. And hats off to our code enforcement and working with our city attorney as well. I'm heavily involved with that. And this is additional property at 1310 Willow. And when we identify that there's no family interest, the utilities have been off for some time, And instead of letting a property become dilapidated to where it couldn't potentially be rehabbed in the future, we recommend this action so eventually we could take title and put it up for redevelopment. So this one should not have as much legal fees into it. And this one is definitely, in the condition it is, would, we believe, a candidate for redevelopment without having to demolish the structure. Again, this is the proper required steps per state code where we have to give them notice, all interested parties, and then they have 60 days. And plus, I think there's another, I forget what the additional days are on top of that 60 days, so to see if anyone else, if they're going to take action from the remaining family or just let it go. So we think it's in the public's best interest and our best interest in trying to preserve housing stock.
So that'd be 60 days from today pending
Yes.
council approval. Okay.
Okay. Anybody have any questions in addition to any of that?
I'll make that motion there.
Second. Motion by Lindberg, second by Shaven.
Roll call Lindberg,
Aye.
Shaven,
Aye.
Kroger,
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Thank you.
Well, anybody got any stories or anything you want to tell? This meeting's moving right along here, so already down to the city administrator's report.
I always seem to have a few updates and stories, so we'll
Okay, take it away.
consume a little bit of time here, Mayor and Council. A couple of updates. One, the sewer lining project, which again is a project we've been working on funding and which was all secured some time ago. All those proceedings and approved plans were in front of you previously, but the project did kick off. Actually, work began this morning, and it's a two-step process. First is they'll come through and once again they'll clean and televise the lines with the current contractor, and then the second phase will begin in November, which they actually go in and put in the cured in place or CIPP lining process. That will start in sometime in November. There was a tremendous amount of public information pushed out starting Friday and yesterday. Appreciate the newspaper. So they had a front page article today. And then we have the information as well as maps on the city website as well as Facebook. Just doing our very best to keep the public aware. And that map, if you, we just got it updated from our engineer that this is what's out on Facebook. And Jonathan, I sent this to you earlier so you can share this when you rebroadcast. But it's essentially the areas in red, and it includes about 4 miles of lining. $1.1 million project, and it's for protection and preservation of some of the old clay tile lines where there's been either some cracks or none of these are failures, but it's for extend that life 20 to 30 years. That kicked off. And
Gene, where are they starting at on the map? I mean, are they starting at a certain point?
well, they're speaking with our wastewater superintendent each day as to the areas on the map. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a hiccup this morning, so if you, in hindsight, we shouldn't have had them start where they did, and that was up at Farnham and 19th, which was in the school drop-off area. So it created a little bit of distraction this morning with traffic flow and kids crossing the street. That was not ideal, but, and then they're also using door knockers or door hangers, so any affected homes, 24 to 48 hours in advance, and they started putting those up last Friday. And again, with the first phase, as they're jetting or cleaning and televising a line, based upon the condition of your line, your private line, it's recommended, once again, you put your toilet seat down because sometimes you get some back pressure just to minimize any mess in your personal bathroom. So that's the intent of really pushing out a lot of public communication. So
Thank
it's
you.
nice to have that project underway, and as you likely have noticed, the sign outside of City Hall with $500,000 of the project is being covered with CDBG funding, and one of those required elements is you need to have the proper signage posted. And thanks for Ashley for also being extremely diligent with that. That got brought yesterday, I believe,
Yep.
right? And It's just one of those small items that you don't want something as minor, as small as that, to have someone say, well, they didn't have their sign up on time, and that could disqualify you. That'd be highly unlikely, but again, we do our best to dot all the i's and cross the t's. With the North 7th Street property vacation, selling that property to Deborah Moore, which you all approved previously, we're working on that final purchase agreement and resolution, which you'll get final authorization on, so you can expect that likely at the next meeting. But that's proceeding well. Some good news with that is, in working with our attorney, working with the Taryn over at the assessor's office, is not going to require a survey. So the property owner will be happy with that. They were going to cover that cost anyway, but able to get a legal description without that. Just recently, we, as part of our loss control and safety audits, wanted to share some good news that on October 3rd, there was a loss control audit or safety audit out of our wastewater plant. And I mean, I'll try to highlight this here, but this was the certificate we got. And when you receive that, which is the following locations have no recommendations and no further actions needed. Glenn and the team out there doing an excellent job keeping that plant in tip-top shape, but also well organized and very safety conscious. So that took place on October 3rd, and we just got that certification or response back. Today's paper also, just to share some other good news. Again, we have a library that provides many other services than just books. And if you may have noticed that during the Fire Awareness and Fire Prevention Week, that the fire department did a children's story time over at during children's story time, and it was reported as the largest turnout ever for one of their kids' story time. So hats off to the library and also our great volunteer fire department for a great event there. Had an update from our park superintendent this afternoon that they're starting to work on closing down restrooms. We've got a couple cool nights here. We're going to be safe for now, but by Halloween, our park restrooms will be closed up for the season, which we shared at the last week's park meeting. Yet we'll have them all closed up by Halloween, so just awareness to the public. And this is the time of year we usually do that, in getting those winterized and closed up. Next Monday, for those of you with the Personnel and Finance Committee, that's Jenny, Kyle, and Aaron. We have a Personnel and Finance Committee meeting set up next Monday afternoon. We'll be reviewing a few items, a couple noteworthy items being our IT agreement, a recommended IT agreement with HMU, and also update and awareness on some of the investment tools and strategies that we're using with our cash. Will be discussed at that P&F meeting. Those committee meetings, again, are all public meetings, as well as that fits into your personal schedule with other council members. It should be a good session. We are also getting, how close, Ashley? Maybe this close on the full code update? I think we had the last revision.
Yep, so I sent her the final changes, and she's gonna let me know when she has them done and the
So
next
again, this
step.
is a full code revision. It will cover things such as removing references to the police department, as we're now with unified law enforcement, to ensuring we've got the right permit fees for dog licensing, to we're consistent with our no parking, making it 48 hours across the board, some cleanup. That may be ready for P&F next Monday, not sure. Yet that's been close to a 2-year project. Again, we've gone through page by page, every department. So that's exciting to share that information. This Friday, Todd Boleen isn't here. We reported this at the last meeting. Yet at the IEDA, Economic Development Authority, will be at the Turkelson Center from 10 to noon. And this is for Western Iowa. So we'll have hopefully a number of visitors coming. And it's regarding the Catalyst Grant opportunity for any buildings that can be rehabbed that impact jobs, economic development, being a catalyst to an area. We did have, as you may remember, the Jerry Henscheid building at 601 Court that received a $100,000 Catalyst Grant a few years ago that rehabbed some main level retail space and created 2 very nice upper story living areas. So this is an informational opportunity. It's for those interested businesses or property owners that may have a building or a property. The pre-application period opens in January, yet this would be an informational session about the Catalyst program. That's this Friday from 10 to noon. And the last item I have is anniversaries. The month of October, we have 2 anniversaries. Doug Claver celebrating 28 years with the city. His anniversary was October 1st. And Doug's with our street team. And Elizabeth Scheckinger with library, celebrating 5 years on October 28th. And then a congratulations once again that Doug Harms in our wastewater department achieved his grade 2 certification. That was just the end of September, but want to give a congratulations to him once again with that certification. Comments, questions for me?
None for me.
All right, thanks, Gene. I just have one item under my report to appoint, the motion to appoint Christine Travis to the Library Board for a term to expire July 1st of 2028.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Kroger, second by Lindberg.
Roll call Lindberg,
Aye.
Shaven, Kroger,
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Thank you.
Just, Todd's not here, but Harvest Fest's coming up a week from Saturday. Big event downtown. It's been in the paper and online. It's always a good turnout. Hopefully the weatherman cooperates. Some years he does, some years he doesn't. So, but that's always a fun time downtown. Lots of little people dressed up like other things than what they normally are. So it's a reminder for that. But that's all I really have. I got a lot of comments about our downtown. I don't know if it's just there's more people in town for other things, but we've seen, it's been a common theme for quite some time, but I just let people know people are still just, they enjoy being in our downtown. Had some people in town over the weekend, and the music and the lights and the cars, and it seems to be a lot of activity there over the weekends and evenings. And
Painted crosswalks.
And the
Art
crosswalks, yes. Just good things going on down there. So that's all I have. Harlan Municipal Utilities, Joe Ruschenberg.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
Joe.
Mine's pretty short, just a couple items, just updates on our 2 projects. Raw water improvement project, McCarthy Trenching, and their subcontractors still have a few small items to complete on their punch list. We're, substantially completed on that part of the project. And they are already aware that they will, almost 100% likely that they'll be reseeding next spring. Again, they tried seeding what they had disturbed around the new wells and everything else they disturbed as far as putting in the new underground. But, with the weather, I think they're already under the impression that they're going to probably have to come back in and reseed in the spring. So at least they realize that, or are aware of that. Well 35, our deep well, we're still looking at Cahoy, hopefully getting that started before the end of the month, 1st of November. They do, we did notice this week though, they do have some material on site as far as the casing and the screen for that deep well. So it looks like we're getting closer to starting there. It's just if they can get the drill rig on site and move forward with that. Our other project, our overhead underground electric project, Burns Electric has just a couple employees in town working on some setting equipment, pulling wire and connecting services. The majority of their other employees that they had on site are in the south working on storm damage help down there. So they sent a lot of their guys down there to help with that. Hopefully they'll be back in just a few weeks here, I guess, depending on how things are going. Sounds like they get power restored in a lot of those areas. So hopefully they'll get back and concentrate on that project. Their boring subcontractor still has about 3 employees in town doing some cleanup on some of the items that they have remaining too. So not much progress this few weeks here, but hopefully we'll get those guys back and we'll continue to move forward. And as I mentioned on that, material holdups as far as some wire and some other equipment that we're waiting on that we probably won't get till after the first of the year, more like into January 1st to February before they can finish that up, so. But they'll still get done, I think, way ahead of what was scheduled, as far as their completion date in 25. Any questions for me?
How your cyclones doing, Joe?
Huh?
How the cyclones doing?
6-0? First time since 1938.
The cyclone at my house, he's riding the waves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's.
That's okay. We'll all cheer for the cyclone, so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Shelby County Sheriff's update. Deputy, I called you captains, you're the captain, right? Let's call you deputy, or do I just call you?
Chad.
He doesn't like titles.
You don't like titles? All right.
They're for books.
Guy with a badge, go ahead and give us your report.
So for last month, we had 10 accidents, 23 citations, 83 traffic warnings, 16 arrests, 1 criminal mischief, 6 thefts, 408 contacts, 8 welfare checks, 4 alarms, and 5 animal complaints.
Contacts are what, Chad, as far as,
Any kind of contact that we have, whether it's people coming into the office or Lee's out on patrol and somebody flags him down and he talks to him, just a
interaction
civilian
with someone?
contact. Yep, it doesn't generate a report, doesn't generate arrests, anything like that. So
Okay.
that's what our contacts would be. Going to school events and stuff like that, like a lot of the guys will go to the basketball games and football games and stuff like that. That would be a contact, 'cause you're meeting the public and talking to the public, so we just kind of keep track of that too.
okay,
We are hiring again since the last meeting. We had 2, Nate Pigsley went to Douglas County, so he'd been with us for a long time, great guy, and going to a bigger agency. And then Ray Ole went to part-time, so we're replacing both of those positions. So Ray will still be with us here and there, but we're hiring 2. Application process stopped today at 4 o'clock, but it'll go until both positions are hired. So I think we have 9 applications right now for the 2 positions. So we'll be proceeding with that in the near future and see what we get out of that process.
okay.
How's our academy dude doing?
Good, he's doing very good. Last I talked to him, he was top of the class academically, so that's good.
Nice.
He's halfway right now.
Downhill side now.
Yeah, on the back.
Which one of you is in charge of which is tutor? Is it you or Neil or?
Deputy White.
Definitely
White.
yeah.
I was top half, but I wasn't at the top.
Awesome. That'll be exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure he's ready to get back to the road. We're ready for him to do that, so.
yeah.
Sure. It's
Anything
good to
for
hear
us?
that you still have interest coming in to fill more
Yeah,
positions. That's
yeah,
awesome.
especially, I mean, everybody's hiring. If you look, there's every law enforcement agency is hiring, and it's hard to compete age-wise with some of the bigger agencies, but.
Yeah. If any of them have a CDL license, send them my way, would you?
Everybody's hiring, right?
Yeah.
It's terrible. That's
Little
all we-
plug there, sorry, just, it's reality.
Absolutely.
That's what you gotta do this day and age.
If you're looking for a job and you don't have one, you're not looking very hard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're right, thanks.
Hey, Kevin.
Any comments from the public? Comments from up here? Flags, Gene, I don't, did we replace those downtown? Somebody was working on those, I don't know, was it HMU or was it, somebody was up on a bucket truck replacing some flags, I noticed the other day.
Many times it'll be our street department, a
Street
small
department.
bucket truck. Sometimes HME will help.
I know there was some that looked pretty
think most of the time
rugged
it's our
and
guys.
I don't know if some,
And then Mark Maxwell will help supply the flags, so.
Okay, somebody asked me who was in charge of that and I thought, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, check with Mark Maxwell or myself.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
But somebody was out there working on it. And-
What's that?
Does Gordon still do it?
He only-
Gordon helps with the,
Oh, he only
he's
owns
the
it.
community service,
Okay.
public servant.
Yeah.
Gordon's always,
You know, these people were, I guess I didn't pay attention to see who's out there.
and it's after Veterans Day is when they'll come down.
Okay.
For the winter. We don't leave them up all winter, and then they get put back up in the spring just after,
And we store them?
15.
The city stores them? somewhere?
I think
county?
sometimes they're the HMU shop or our shop.
Okay.
Find out.
I didn't even know we helped. The last I knew we didn't, so.
So so we're taking them down is kind of coordinated between who, us, HMU, city crews do it, they take them down?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Somebody asked me and I thought, I don't know. Okay. All right, well then, any other comments? Now we've reached the time and place, possible closed session under Iowa Code Section 21.5 subsection 1 subsection I. Evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose appointment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessary to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation. That individual has requested a closed session. So we would now, do we want to wait to make that motion, or everybody leave to make the motion, I guess?
You can make it now, but obviously we won't go into.
Okay, is there a motion to enter into closed session?
Motion. Second.
Did you get it? Yeah, I get it. Motion to Kroger, second by Shaven. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, you good?